Great note and great challenge from a listener and or viewer to the program. And he writes in this way to us. Todd, I've got a genuine question. He said, if this economic crash happened under Biden when he took office after Trump, how would you feel about Democrats saying we needed this? I'm a long-term mega supporter, even wielded signs for his campaign in 2024. I don't understand how people are justifying a literal depression, an economic crash in the same fashion as the first depression happened. I'm always a huge fan of your logical and opinionated takes. One of the best and well-worded voices in the conservative scene is you. I'm going to get laid off because of these steel and aluminum tariffs, and I wish that someone on the right would stand up and ask Mega if we actually know what's going on. Are you telling me my job welding heavy machinery frames is only propped up by the Chinese economy? No, it was propped up in America being a country of free trade. Please, try to understand from the perspective of a hardworking family man, just like yourself, how hard it is to be backstabbed by the person you put in office. Crashing the economy is not a reset, and me losing my job in a red state is proof. And I wish I could use this gentleman's name, but he wrote this on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@the-Todd-Herman-Show. So I can't, but I will respond in just a second because we are backed up by working people. For instance, my friends who run Allen Soaps. Right? Allen is 14 years old. He's been through 18 operations. He's effectively nonverbal because of autism and how high he is on the spectrum, but he works every day, just like this gentleman. He does quality control. In fact, he also invents fragrances of soaps you will not find anywhere else. Fragrance is very, very important to a young man who can't speak. This is his way of communicating. The soaps are made in America, just like this gentleman. They are made by a family with 3 generations of soap making expertise, and they're absolutely unique. And it's not just Alan who works there anymore. Ian works there, also impacted by autism, and Amy also works there. The world would have these guys, these young people, tossed out. In fact, they tried to unalive Alan in the womb. His parents refused. Go to allensoaps.com/Todd. You get 10% off all their products. And every time you wash your body or your hands with their liquid soap, you will be proving that all lives matter to you. It's allensoaps.com/Todd. So to respond to this, number one, brother, that is so scary and so painful to be facing a job loss. I'm not going to lie, that is scary and it is painful. And understand something as well. When you lose your job, God forbid, if that lasts, we lose advertisers. We lose money in the cast. Things for me get more expensive. We end up having to constrict what we do. I don't have any guarantees here. No one pays the bills. God has provided. I believe God will continue to provide. I believe that with my whole heart. We've been through cycles like this before. That doesn't change the fact that you're facing something different than I am, right? Now, is this what we must do? I want to ask you something because you didn't say this. Do you have grandkids? Do you have kids? I choose to go through this for my daughter and for, God willing, her kids. Because if we don't do this, if we do not go through this battle, if we do not trust in God Almighty to continue to provide, if we do not remember that God said, look at the sparrows in the field. They sell for a little bit of money. I forget what he said, tiny little bit of money. And Father in heaven, not one is lost without our Father in heaven knowing. And how much more do you matter than the sparrows of the field? God's going to provide. That's what I fully believe. But if we don't do this, and we do not go through this economic war, if we do not reset with China, the end is going to be the same. We're going to crash. At that point, it's not a recession. It's not a depression. It's a crash. It's gone. The country is gone. This is the design of China. Am I telling you that the only reason that you have a job of welding heavy equipment is because of China? No, but I'm saying this. Your management, if it's a big company, medium-sized company, most companies have become addicted to China and slave labor and fake economics. This is a drug. It is an addiction to our country. Addictions only go in one direction unless you choose to stand up to them. I'm praying that as President Trump's team goes around the globe, going around China, making economic agreements with other countries, which is already starting to happen. We're starting to see people invest in these countries. We have NVIDIA coming in to build chips here. We had a biotech company make an announcement. They're going to do this here. Apple is onshoring stuff. I fully believe that other companies are going to make that decision because they're looking at the calculus. China's a great big market, but most of its people can't afford to buy things. The United States, for our shame, is the number one consumer market in the world because we've been taught to consume and consume and consume. And I believe that entrepreneurs are going to need people like you because they're not going to just simply say, well, I guess we can't make things out of steel anymore. There's too much invested in this. I think the steel buildings, the steel shops where I live, people are always buying these things. I think that's going to continue to rise. Now we're in a dip and it's scary. But if we don't go through this, we're going to be saying to our grandkids later, as the country fully crashes, well, we had a good time. We could have done some things, but it would have caused us a lot of discomfort and pain. So we decided to put it on your shoulders instead. Congratulations. We're going to enjoy our retirement. Good luck ever buying a house. I can't do it, bro. I can't. And I appreciate you writing in and looking at the clips and your kind words about the program. And I hope that we can still be virtual friends.